I like turtles. I don't know if you like turtles, but since you clicked on this video about turtles, I'm gonna assume that you like turtles. I might like turtles, but some poor, informed souls don't seem too fond of the slow, helpless creatures. Well, I guess not helpless because they have that weird shell thing. I guess they're not slow either, as turtles swim pretty fast, but tortoises are slow. Turtles, especially the subaquatic kind, are really fast in water, but tortoises, which are on land, are much slower. Just watch this cute video of my little turtle swimming around in this water. The main reason I got into turtles and wanted to get Joey Jr. is because one time my mom, brother, and I were driving on our grandfather's golf course and we heard gunshots like bang, 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 bang. And we saw this big turtle with a whole bunch of algae and stuff on his back, and he was stuck in this little creek thing as a little obstacle on the golf course. And he couldn't move, and since we didn't want him to get shot, my mom told me and my brother to go save him, and since she didn't want to, since she had to drive home. So my brother and I argued over it because of how gross it was, and we didn't want to drop it and stuff. I finally remember saying, "I'll step up to the plate." Now I said this very specific phrase due to only one condition. I heard my parents say it and thought that if I said it, I would be all cool and mature and stuff. Which I was. So in my attempt to be big, fancy, mature people person, I had locked myself into having to pick up the turtle, which was very heavy for my 5-year-old muscles. Since it was so heavy and it was covered with algae, it nearly slipped multiple times. But luckily, somehow I had been holding it right, like in this position. But I didn't drop it, and I put it next to the pond where he scurried away. So on the way home, I remember asking Mom if I could have a turtle. I really want a turtle. Mom, can I please have a turtle? Please, 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 please. And Mom, instead of saying no, came up with an even more clever way of saying no, but having it in a nicer way and having a deal for me to actually get a turtle, which did ultimately fail, but it was a great idea. The deal was that I'd have to wait till I was 10, so that's 5 more years, which they were a long 5 years. But finally, the awaited day had arrived, my 10th birthday. But I did not get my turtle, because a few weeks earlier I found out that we were moving, and since I had read in a whole bunch of books doing research on what I needed to get for a turtle, I stumbled across the fact that during the move you can actually harm the turtle and decrease its lifespan. So we move, but we're in a rental house, so naturally I don't want to harm the turtle in the move. Since we're renting, it means we'll have to move again. So I didn't get a turtle in that house. Then when I found out we were moving again, we're renting again. So I didn't get the turtle because I wanted to keep it happy and safe. So we move, we settle in, and then we see a super sale on turtle supplies at the pet store, and there was an opportunity I couldn't pass. So I got the turtle and I got the supplies, and now we have Joey Jr. Finally, after 8 years. That's 3 extra than the 5 I was supposed to wait, but it was worth it. I did get it while we were renting, but we moved shortly afterwards, and I took the necessary precautions so that way we won't harm the turtle, and he's happy and healthy in his tank, and he's all good. If I can say anything about owning a turtle so far, it would be that it's a great experience. I personally really like it. The turtle's a great turtle. I mean, it has a great personality. It's very energetic. He moves a lot. He swims around. I think he's finally starting to warm up to me a little bit, but it's taken a while. And we've got a few interesting stories out of this experience so far. One of these stories is the legend of Filbert. Filbert was one of the 2 original snails that we got to clean out his tank. You got Filbert and Eclipse. For a while, it was all good and stuff. Usually I'd see Eclipse. I didn't see Filbert too often because he was in the little rock thing. He was on the underside cleaning up there. So when I hadn't seen Filbert for a while, I was like, okay, he's just under the rock. And he usually was. But then I didn't even see him under the rock. So I'm like, oh, he probably just blends into the rocks. It's fine. So one day I go to clean the tank, and I'm going to do a thorough clean this day. Because, like, you know what? It's getting dirty. There's food caught up in the rocks, whatever. So I go, I'm cleaning through the rocks, and in the rocks is Filbert's shell empty. He ate Filbert. He's not supposed to eat snails. He's supposed to eat the minnows I get him. Or the crickets. The crickets are another story, but he's supposed to eat the minnows, not Filbert. At least I can say I gave Filbert a pretty dignified funeral. Side note, we also got 2 other snails, Fred and George. They died of a fungus. But still, I miss you, Filbert. I miss you so much. Please forgive me, buddy. Remember those crickets I was talking about earlier? Yeah, well, there was a cricket massacre. He ate 50 crickets in 10 minutes. If you're wondering why I put so many crickets in all at once, that would be because I got 50 crickets, as stated before, intending to put 10 in at a time. But Mom was like, well, I don't want them getting out and spreading across her house, and we're going to have to call the pest control because they bred and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty reasonable. I'll just put them all in at once, because he usually will only eat the minnows every so often when he's hungry, which I thought he'd do the same with the stupid crickets. But nope, he ate them all in 10 minutes. That was not fun to clean. It was very gross. There are a lot of guts, legs, limbs, heads, and just disembodied cricket carcasses everywhere. And it was really bad because they would clog up the filter, which means they would just lay around floating and then decomposing in the water. And you couldn't even see in the water. I'm never getting any more crickets unless they're completely out of minnows and he needs some treats. Even with the few downsides, like cricket massacres, I would say that this was a good experience, and I am enjoying living with Joey Jr., and I hope I have many more good experiences to come. Thank you, and have a nice day.